Alyssa Thomas, Caitlin Clark, both dominant players, but Alyssa plays on the edge. I know her, and Caitlin sometimes embellishes at times in certain instances. This created a position where the league is now forced to be reactive. Now the league is reacting and doing something that it rarely does on a non-call and instituting a suspension. And to me, that was unique. That largely happened because of the optics. In game flow, if you're watching in game speed, I was watching in game speed, I didn't really notice too much because people hit the ground all the time. But then when narratives are created based off of a freeze frame, that can create a huge problem. And I do think that the league,
in slow motion.
Yes, the league was reacting to the optics of that image.
Do I need to provide a history lesson here? Does Professor KC need to stand in front of the class and go through every unnecessary assault that Caitlin Clark has had to deal with in her 3 years of elevating this toxic turd of a league into the mainstream? We could spend an entire semester reviewing the numerous assaults on Caitlin Clark, but according to these unknowns at ESPN, our league was responding to the optics. Poor Al Thomas. Oh, poor Alvin. She is dealing with vitriol. She's dealing with mean words on social media. To make matters worse, the WNBA suspended her based on social media outrage. It's so unfair. That panel of unknowns providing substandard coverage of a league that is the very definition of substandard, and me calling the WNBA substandard, that's actually me being generous. Substandard is receiving a medium rare steak when you asked for medium. Substandard is when room service forgets to fluff your pillow. The WNBA is not substandard. This league is the drizzling shits. And the coverage provided by ESPN, it's almost as bad as the pretend basketball that we see in this league. Now, in fairness to ESPN, they're not the only network providing bad coverage of a bad product while also diminishing Caitlin Clark at the same time. Go ahead and clear your nose so you can get a nice whiff of the toxic mouth farts that were released on CBS this past weekend. Watch this for yourself.
Asia, you know, I feel like I didn't edify her enough of what she's capable of.
Edify.
Asia has scored 69% of the Aces' points in the paint. Asia's just been completely outstanding. She deserves all of the glory that she gets, the commercials, all of the things. This is the face of the WNBA.
Yeah, the Asia Wilson show.
What? Excuse me? First of all, why do some of these women who cover the WNBA, why are they dressing like men? Most men, we don't want to wear ties. These dry fit shirts that I wear every day. The other day, my wife counted how many of these dry fit shirts that I own after the 3 I bought this weekend while we were out running errands. The number is now up to 100. The entire side of my closet is nothing but dry fit shirts. You know how many ties I own? None. Most men, we're not trying to wear ties, but some of these women covering the WNBA, they're wearing ties and sports coats trying to create some masculine illusion. According to CBS, and I guarantee you, the so-called WNBA analyst at ESPN, they feel the exact same way. According to the media, AJ Wilson is the face of the WNBA, the same AJ Wilson that plays for a team that is named the Las Vegas Anonymous Faces. Keyword, anonymous. Do people in the mainstream media not know what anonymous means? Does Professor KC need to give an English lesson along with a history lesson? Anonymous. It means someone whose name is unknown, unrevealed, or of unknown origin. If I put AJ Wilson's beautiful face up here on the screen, most people would think her origin was the side of a milk carton. The vast majority of people, they would have no idea that AJ Wilson is one of the best players in the WNBA. So, someone, please explain to me how A'ja Wilson is the face of the league. She might be the anonymous face, but she's damn sure not the most recognizable face. For the last 2 weeks, ESPN has debuted exciting new programming on Sunday nights. The primetime programming block, it is called Women's Sports Sundays. For the next 9-10 weeks, from mid-June until mid-August, ESPN is dedicating every Sunday night to the WNBA and NWSL. When ESPN announced this unprecedented decision last summer, most people asked the same question. Who in the hell asked for this? Who asked to see more pretend basketball? And who asked to see any of the NWSL? Based on their attendance numbers, most people are wanting to see significantly less of the NWSL. Hell, this league, they can't even keep their own players interested. Some NWSL players, they are dumping this league to go play soccer over in Europe. Last summer, when ESPN announced that they were dedicating Sunday nights to programming that no one wants to watch, the decision caused a lot of controversy. In order to dedicate Sunday nights in the summer to the WNBA, ESPN had to remove something to make room for pretend basketball. And what they removed was the tradition of Sunday night baseball. My entire life, Sunday night baseball has been a constant during the summer on ESPN. Every Sunday night, you could count on ESPN broadcasting the biggest game of the week in Major League Baseball. Last year, Sunday Night Baseball averaged 1.8 million viewers on ESPN, which is a number the WNBA cannot come close to matching without Caitlin Clark. Uncle KC, that's not true. The WNBA is way more mainstream than Major League Baseball. Have you seen the star power in this league? Wow, sir! AJ Wilson, Paige Buckner, Cam Brink, Angel Reese. These women are huge stars. Last Sunday, ESPN made their immaculate debut of Women's Sports Sunday. It was a high-profile matchup between the New York Lesbians and the LA Sparkles. 780,000 viewers. Sunday Night Baseball, which moved over to NBC, 2.8 million viewers, which means Major League Baseball gained 1 million viewers by dumping ESPN, while ESPN lost 1 million viewers by continuing to push a WNBA product that no one asked for. In ESPN's defense, I understand this from a business perspective. Like most leagues that people want to watch, Major League Baseball is expensive to broadcast. ESPN, along with pretty much every other network, they're running into a major problem. Broadcast rights are going up while cable and satellite subscriptions are going down. Earlier this year, NBC was projecting anywhere from $500 million to $1.4 billion in losses per year with their new deal with the NBA. ESPN is paying for the NFL. They paid to keep the NBA, which is a league they could not afford to lose. ESPN, more than any other network, is heavily reliant on the NBA to survive. College football, the college football playoffs, ESPN is paying out the ass to maintain broadcast rights of major sports. So from a business perspective, I understand why they dumped Major League Baseball for the WNBA. You gotta remember, ESPN is essentially getting the WNBA for free. Uncle Casey, that's preposterous. Nothing is free. ESPN is paying hundreds of millions of dollars for the right to broadcast make-believe basketball. Yeah, I know that's what the media tells you, but the media conveniently overlooks one important detail when talking about the WNBA's broadcast package. Adam Silver basically told the networks, if you want the NBA, you have to accept the WNBA. The reality is, the money the WNBA receives from ESPN, it's just another generous donation from their primary subsidizers in the NBA. Believe it or not, Uncle Casey tried to watch Women's Sports Sunday last night. Me and the wife, we were gone all day Saturday and yesterday. Got home yesterday afternoon and she was rearranging the kitchen. She bought a bunch of new decorations. She was trying to find their proper place. I immediately learned that the new napkins or towels that we bought were not to be used. Don't you dare use those towels to dry your hands. Those are decorative towels. They're here to match the blue from the rug. Oh. Okay. While she was doing all that, I decided to sedate myself by watching Women's Sports Sunday. Once again, the New York Lesbians were featured. They were in the city of Rainbows to play the Golden State Vikings. Now, supposedly, the Vikings are one of the most popular teams in the league. If you believe the media, the Golden State Vikings sell out every home game. But it's strange. As I'm attempting to watch unknowns attempting to play basketball, I notice dozens and dozens and dozens of empty seats in the front rows. So I checked the official attendance, and the WNBA, they claim the game is sold out. Strange. By the time they got to halftime, I'd already had enough. The New York Lesbians, which is supposedly one of the better teams in this league, they had 29 points at halftime. 29 points in 20 minutes of basketball. And it wasn't because the Vikings are some unstoppable force on defense. The Lesbians could not make a shot, and it wasn't from lack of effort. They were definitely shooting their shot. Will you go out with me? Can I take you to dinner? They just couldn't find anyone willing to accept. All kidding aside, I think the WNBA is starting to realize they're in deep shit. Caitlin Clark isn't the same draw that she was in the past. Like I told you guys when they agreed to this ridiculous collective bargaining agreement, the pressure is on. There are no more excuses. WNBA players have been given everything they demanded. There always comes a point when the sympathy runs out and you either step up or you step aside. For the WNBA, that time is now. Their pretend friends in the media, they are doing everything they can to create new stars. Asia Wilson, Paige Beckers, Angel Reese, the young woman in Seattle who wants to be a rapper, Elmer Fudd. ESPN has dedicated Sunday nights to pretend basketball. Prime time on Sunday nights, that is coveted real estate on television, and ESPN has given that real estate to the WNBA. The league has been given, keyword, given. This league has been given everything they have asked for. Increased media attention, a media that covers up the obvious negatives in this league, a media that pretends the WNBA product is great. $1 million contracts for players, mainstream notoriety, yet for some reason, the mainstream audience continues to reject the WNBA. Why? At the end of the day, no matter how much polish you apply, the WNBA product is still a turd. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.